Colombian President Gustavo Petro called for legal proceedings against US President Donald Trump and other officials over recent missile strikes in the Caribbean, which killed young people fleeing poverty, during a fiery address at the UN General Assembly on Tuesday. Speaking before the 80th UN General Assembly, Petro denounced the US military operation in the southern Caribbean on August 19th, which involved 3 Navy destroyers, a missile cruiser, a nuclear submarine, amphibious ships, and 4,500 personnel targeting alleged drug smuggling vessels. The operation reportedly killed 14 Venezuelan cartel members, but Petro said the victims were innocent Colombians, not drug traffickers.
They were not from other terrorist groups. They were poor Colombians, and with apologies to those who dominate the United Nations, there should be criminal cases against those officials of the United States for doing this, including the utmost official, President Trump, who allowed the shooting of missiles against these young people who were simply trying to escape poverty.
The Colombian president stressed that even if the youths had carried small amounts of drugs, they were not part of organized trafficking networks. He pointed to the real traffickers living in New York and Miami, allegedly protected by US authorities, while the poor bore the consequences of violence. Petro framed the strikes as part of a broader pattern of US dominance, comparing them to military actions in Gaza and ongoing climate inaction. He accused the US of using migration as a pretext to maintain control over Latin America. In Venezuela, President Nicolas Maduro and Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez mobilized the country's civilian militia in Caracas, emphasizing readiness to defend national sovereignty, while Maduro pledged constitutional and citizen-led measures to counter any potential aggression.
We are not playing around here. We are not here to recreate ourselves in time and space. No, we are getting ready.
In contrast, President Trump justified US operations at the same UN session, framing Venezuelan networks as a direct threat to the United States.
They're the enemies of all humanity. For this reason, we've recently begun using the supreme power of the United States military to destroy Venezuelan terrorists and trafficking networks led by Nicolas Maduro. To every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the United States of America, please be warned that we will blow you out of existence.
Petro's call for criminal proceedings against Trump marks an unprecedented challenge to US military authority in the Caribbean, raising questions of international law and accountability. The US delegation reportedly left the Assembly Hall during Petro's speech, reflecting diplomatic tensions.